guys, welcome back to Adding Villa Crafts, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Sentro knitting machine. So I got this machine off of Amazon for about $55.99 and it took about 1.5 days to come off of Amazon Prime. So the Sentro knitting machine is a lot like the Addy knitting machines, except for it is a lot less expensive as the Addies. The Addies are about between $100 and $200, and this was the largest knitting machine that Sentro brand had, also known as the Smart Weaver. And this one has 48 needles, and the Addy Express King size has about 46 needles. So it is around the same size as their largest one. It is just a lot less expensive. Now, of course, from the reviews that I have heard online, the Addy is still obviously top of the line, but that this is a great, machine to buy that is a lot less expensive and good for us amateurs to get our feet wet into machine knit. So here is the back of the machine. Sorry if my camera is a little bit shaky. I couldn't fit the entire box into my little stand. So I have on the back here, it says that it is an easy knitting process. It comes with a row counter. It has 2 modes, panel and tube knitting. It has a tension lever and 4 yarn balls. I'm just going to unbox the machine, and once I get out of the packaging, I will show you guys. So this is the machine after I put it together. So I did have to leave, and this is now the next day in the morning. You can probably tell because the lighting is a little bit different, so I'm sorry about that. But basically, the legs and screws and the suction cups that it has on the back essentially came in some packaging, and I just screwed the screw in and popped the legs and put the little suction cups in. In some videos they said that it was really hard to get these in, but I just kind of slid it through the little holes and it just popped right in, so I don't really know what they're talking about. I did hear though that this machine has a little bit of inconsistent manufacturing, so that could definitely be why. So you got a little screwdriver to put it in, and you got the instructions, and the instructions are pretty good. I mean, they're okay for a knitting machine. I mean, they're to the point and you can figure out what you're supposed to do, so it's really not a problem. So it came with 3 needles. Each of them is a different size. These 2 kind of have the same hole, like eye of the needle, and then this one's like a little bit smaller. Then it came with obviously a little crochet hook to weave in ends and stuff. It's made of plastic. They're actually really not that bad, so that's pretty good. The quality really, it's not that bad. It's doable. I think it is really doable for paying about almost $60. And then, alright, so the next thing that I put in was the tensioner. Some people really hate the tensioner. I've heard that the machine does do better with the tensioner in, so I'll obviously try it, but I just prefer to use my hand to find the tension and stuff. So this is the little analog counter. So as you move the machine around, every time it hits the little white thing, the little white needle, it counts 1, like that. And then it does say that it only works with tubular knitting, not panel knitting. So, but that's okay. I mean, it's really not a big deal. I honestly probably will just look at it to see how long I want a project to be or measure it. So that's really not a big deal to me. But it works and it seems pretty good, so that's good enough for me. And then the next thing that I want to look at is the yarn. So it did say that it would come with 2 things of one size of yarn and then 2 things of another size. And not only are they larger sized, but these are almost a chunky yarn, or a larger, heavier worsted weight yarn. And then these are definitely a lot lighter of a yarn. So if you can see here, look at the difference. I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a pretty big difference in the sizing of the ply of the yarn. So that'll be interesting to see. So I'm probably not going to use this yarn to try out the product at first, just because it's not actually that bad. The quality of the yarn is really, it's not that bad, but I think I'm going to use Vanna's Choice yarn to try out this, simply because I feel like that might work a little bit better, but we'll just have to see. So yeah. Alright, so I have now moved to a counter surface where I can use the suction cups. And with the suction cups on, this machine is not moving. So I'm probably going to do a time lapse of me knitting some fabric, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like and what I think of the project. So I am going to be using some blue Vanna's Choice yarn because I simply just think that this stuff works a little bit better. And I'll tell you what I think of this machine after I use it a little bit. A bit of a quick change of plans. I just read on the instructions that lighter yarns work better on the Sentro, so I am actually going to be using TLC baby yarn, and I will show you how it does on the knitting machine. Alright, so right now I am on my 20th row, and so far I have absolutely no complaints with this knitting machine at all. The analog counter works just fine, the stitches look just fine, and for my first project I feel like this looks, oh sorry, I just hit the little yarn tensioner thing. So like a lot of other people said, the yarn tensioner really does make the project go by a lot better, and I think that it does produce better stitches with the yarn tensioner. But even though I don't love using it like most people don't, I really do think that everything about this machine is working really well. I definitely feel like it's worth my money so far, so I'm really excited about that. So unlike a lot of cheap knitting machines, you usually hear a lot of grinding of metal or plastic or whatever, and in this knitting machine, I really have to say you don't really hear anything at all. It sounds really nice, and I'm really happy about that. So that's definitely a win-win for me. So I really like that. And I think I'm going to knit a double-sided hat. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like when I am finished. Alright, so this is where I am now. I have a lot of fabric knitted, and this is what it looks like down here. And I am at 65 rows, or 66 rows, sorry. And to make a double-sided, like, reversible hat, what you have to do, I'm not going to change colors or anything, but what you have to do is you have to, I think, do around 100 to like 120 rows for a hat my size. So that is what I'm going to be doing. One of the surprising things is that the little knob that knits the stitches, it doesn't catch and it doesn't get stuck for some odd reason, which that's actually a really good thing. Getting stuck is like something that a lot of cheap knitting machines do, so I'm really glad that mine is at least not doing that right now. So that is really good. And while I'm knitting my stitches, these little suction cups are staying right where they need to be. This thing is not moving around, so I won't have to build any clamps for it, so that is definitely a plus as well. Alright, so I did completely finish this hat. I think it definitely looks really, really good. It is completely reversible and you can take the cuff off, and I knit this in probably about 20 minutes. So I really, really like this, and I really, really, really recommend this machine to anyone who is curious about the Sentro. And I will leave a link in the description box below for the exact Amazon person that I purchased this from, because I got it really fast and it really works and I really love it. So yay! If you liked this video, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions about the knitting machine or anything else about my channel, feel free to ask in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Bye guys!